hello, and welcome to Updog Sports Talk. My name is Matt Miller. Joining to me today is nobody, because I am by myself. Um, Justin is out sick, so I'm going to attempt to do this with no help. Today, we are going over our top 25 for college football. Now, as a reminder, we do this monthly, not weekly. Um, it just happened to coincide on the same week that um, the college football playoff top 25 came out, which is exciting for us because then we had something to talk about, but currently there's no we, it's just a me. So, Justin, if you're watching, feel better, dude. Um, so, to kick things off, let's see if I can share my screen here. All right. So to kick things off, this is our top 25. I apologize it is a little hard to read. Justin made it. I didn't have a whole lot of time to edit it. Kicking off, let me back up just a second. Since Justin's not here, we're going to go 1 through 25. Justin likes to start 25, go through 1, but he didn't make the slides. So, Updog November top 25 will look a lot different. We don't take any other polls into account. We don't take preseason poll, definitely not preseason polls. And after this, we're going to get to our picks. But to kick things off, Oregon is our number one. I really don't think there's a whole lot of argument with this one. Oregon is just a really good football team right now. How this works is Justin and I pick, we take the averages, and those averages determine the order. We decide tiebreakers. Georgia ended up number 2 on our list. Carson Beck, not playing too well, has a lot of turnovers. I don't think he's an elite quarterback, and I think that's what's holding Georgia back from being an elite team. And as Justin and I said last week, there is no elite team this year. Moving on to number 3, Miami, Florida. Playing well right now. Cam Ward has them going, but the defense has a lot of question marks. I'm higher on Miami than Justin is. Number 4, Indiana Hoosiers. They're no longer a basketball school. They're in the top 5 in our poll. It is exciting to see this team play. However, the drawback is they do not have a whole lot of competition. So they haven't had anyone big to come in to show any flaws. It is James Madison's old coach, so he knows how to rile up a team and get everyone together. So Indiana in the top 5. Ohio State, number 5. Could go higher. I had them a little higher, but I think their loss to Oregon holds them back. There's a couple of undefeated teams in here. It's not a bad loss. There's nothing sexy about this team. Their defense in big games does hold them in, and it just seems like the offense is there. It just exists. That's it. Ohio State not living up to Ohio State standards. We all thought Ohio State was going to blow everybody out of the water. Not true this year. So they're at number 5. Quite possibly the most underrated team in college football is the BYU Cougars. BYU massively underrated in all the other polls. We have them at number 6. Could make an argument for putting them up higher, but I think strength of schedule and everything puts them right here. Really hope that they can get going into the college football playoff itself. But BYU, not a big test going forward. But they're undefeated. They're playing well. They look tough and mean and ready to play. Number 7 and number 8, really, we had interchangeable. To us, they're very similar teams. Tennessee at number 7, Texas at number 8. Tennessee, we thought they were going to be better than what they are. They're not bad by any chance because we have them at 7, but uh, really thought that this team could compete with Nico leading the way, and it's showing right now that they're they're not as exciting. They're not as like they're beatable. They're very beatable. Texas, on the other hand, blown out a lot of inferior opponents, but lost pretty bad to the good competition they have. Notre Dame at number 9. I would have them higher if they didn't lose to Northern Illinois, who quite literally just scored a touchdown to make it 14-7 on live TV against Western Michigan. More on that later. But Notre Dame playing well, kind of just coasting through the season after their loss to Northern Illinois. Couple of tests coming up, but we'll see where they land with the College Football Playoff Committee and see if they can get in. They're in our eyes, or at least my eyes. Penn State, they just took a loss to Ohio State, so they fall to 10. Had they beaten Ohio State, you could have made a case for them being number 1. But they didn't, and they're still the little brother of the Big Ten. Just can't get over that hump. One other big surprise in college football is Boise State, and I actually have to say that Boise State, we're rooting for them hardcore through the rest of the season, just to screw up the college football playoff. And I really hope they can hold a home game, get a bye, hold a home game in the playoffs on the blue turf. That would be fantastic. Number 12, another big surprise is Army. They're currently undefeated. Their drawback is they haven't really played anybody. But they're still playing well. They're still undefeated. Big tests coming up. So we'll see if they can remain undefeated. SMU, number 13. They're playing pretty well, making some noise in the ACC. Look for them to finish the season strong. We'll see what they can do in the ACC championship. Got to get through a couple of weeks first. But number 14, we have the Alabama Crimson Tide. Just like a couple of the teams up top, they're not the sexiest team. Like I said before, they're not like there's not an elite team in college football. Alabama's taken some shots this season. Don't really deserve to be in the top 10, but they're in our top 15. Iowa State, at number 15. I wanted to see them go a little higher, but they've kind of slid off a little lately. Number 16, Texas A&M. They took that loss to Notre Dame early in the season. They've kind of rebounded. They've had some ups and downs, but they're starting to even out a little bit. So that's really nice to see. And then Washington State out of the Pac-2, we have at number 17. They're a really strong team. Now, if you're just joining us, bear with me. Justin's not in today. I'm trying to monologue this whole thing. At number 18, we have the offensive explosion of the Pitt Panthers. They're playing pretty well. Justin just chimed in. Washington State is not getting enough respect. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, they're not getting enough respect at all. But moving back to Pitt, they're a solid team. I feel like Pitt and SMU are the big players coming out of the ACC this year. And maybe a little criminal that we have them at 18, but hey, this is our poll. Get off our back. Kansas State at number 19. Now, last year, if you have been following us, Chad absolutely trashed on Justin. Chad and I really trashed on Justin having Kansas State be ranked. And they lost the week that Justin ranked them. This year, quite different. Kansas State deserves to be ranked. They're a really good football team. Now, in my eyes, they're not as good as a BYU, but currently they're playing pretty good football. so can't really fault him for that. Probably one of the most overrated. Oh yeah, Justin says quality wins over Colorado and Tulane. Thanks, Justin. Um, quite possibly the most overrated team in anybody's poll is LSU. I do not know how they are sticking around. I do not know how they don't have more losses. Um, they don't impress me at all. Um, I want to rank so many teams above them. Ole Miss the same way. If you look at our list, you can see that Ole Miss is not on here. LSU and Ole Miss are in the same category for me. I think Justin has expressed in the past that he's not too high on either of those teams, but I especially am not high on LSU. Every time I watch them, they look like dog shit, and they somehow end up winning. I mean, end result is all that counts, but they're fraudulent. I'm telling you. 21. Colorado Buffaloes. Everybody else thinks they're overrated. I don't. I think they're a solid football team. I think they are missing a few pieces to kind of contend with the top 5, top 10 teams, but they're a solid football team. And if you look 2 years ago, they were 1-11. So the fact that they're 21st just says a lot about the program. Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns coming out of the Bayou. They are a very solid football team right now, playing lights out. They only have one loss. Nobody predicted them to really be this good. Quite possibly in contention with BYU and Boise State as the most underrated teams of our poll. Clemson, really 23, 24, and 25 can go a lot of different ways. But we think that a little bit of respect is given to Clemson here. They have quality losses, if you want to count that. Played solid competition, but they're not the Clemson Tigers of years past. If you're expecting them to win the national championship, this is not the team. They're doing well enough for Dabo to keep his job, but honestly, I wouldn't want them in the college football playoff. Justin says their wins are empty calories for the most part. Yeah, thanks, Justin. Number 24, Arizona State Sun Devils. Arizona State's playing really well. Quietly, like unexpectedly. They're playing really well. A couple other teams that we could have had in this general area, in my eyes, really all come out of the Big 12. But Arizona State, give credit where credit's due. They're playing lights out right now. Tulane is number 25. There's a spider coming down right here and scared the crap out of me. That's for your guys' entertainment. I'm going to try not to let my arachnophobia freak myself out. But if it comes at my face, you're going to see me swinging. Tulane. Really good football team, a little underrated. Didn't play quite to what we thought they would. They lost some kind of dumb games early on. But they're still here. They're still hanging around. Very solid American football team. And that is the Updog November Top 25. Share us your thoughts in the chat. If you're watching this after it ends, then feel free to like, subscribe. Find us on Twitter, DM us. Pretty much find us on all social media. I'll get to that a little later. But that is our top 25. We think that a lot of the other polls are ranking SEC and maybe a couple Big Ten teams a little too high, a little too much bias going on. So we went into this not separating Power 4. Yeah, you can see the spider on the screen. Yeah, I gotta get this dude. We're not separating the Power 4 and the Group of 5. We kind of lump them in. I mean, if you're a good team, you deserve to be in our poll, and that's where we're at. Moving on, we have our picks for the week. Justin and I tried to pick one game from every um, conference. Decent matchup. This week didn't really offer a whole lot. And because of that, Justin and I are pretty close when it comes to these picks. But Justin, if you are watching, feel free to type into the chat our record so far while I continue on with what we are about to go on. Our first matchup of the week, our first pick, Army at North Texas. Justin and I both chose Army. Army's going to keep rolling in our eyes. We're really high on them. So yeah. Clemson at Virginia Tech. Both of us have Clemson. Clemson keeps rolling. If this was an early in the year pick, maybe we would think about the upset with Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech has showed us pretty much nothing. So Clemson takes a win. Maryland at Oregon. Again, both of us have Oregon. Oregon's number one. They're the best team. Maryland not playing too well, but there aren't really too many good games coming out this week, like I said. So we chose Oregon to continue steamrolling people. Now we have our first disagreement. Colorado at Texas Tech. I have Colorado. I think Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter are going to keep being electric. Justin pretty much picked Texas Tech because they win when they're not supposed to. And this is a game that a lot of people don't expect them to win, which would fall under their mantra. But Justin, you're wrong. Keep being wrong. Then we have our next disagreement, Kennesaw State at UTEP. Justin has UTEP. I almost thought about UTEP with this one, but I mean, Kennesaw State got their first big win last week or 2 weeks ago, and I think they keep it moving. I think Kennesaw State finally gets a win streak going, and then we start hearing their name a little bit more. Then we have our current game on TV, NIU at Western Michigan. I chose Western Michigan. Justin chose Northern Illinois. Currently, the score is 14-7. Northern Illinois is up with 2 minutes left in the first half. And then, so we'll keep our eyes on that one. By the time this is over, we'll probably know who's going to win that game. But the next one, San Jose State at Oregon State. We both have San Jose State on this one. Oregon State really isn't that great. It feels like that program kind of fell apart this past offseason. And they're kind of lucky that they got to keep the Pac-12. Otherwise, they probably would have been going to Mountain West. Alabama at LSU. We both staunchly picked Alabama. Like, there is no question. We are not high on LSU whatsoever. If LSU wins this game, we'll have to think of something because they just keep winning in stupid fashion at that point. Arkansas State at Louisiana. We both picked Louisiana. Louisiana keeps their win streak going. Maybe they rise up our poll. We'll never. I guess we'll find out next month. And then the FCS, our FCS game of the week, and I think the Big Sky, if I'm not mistaken, announced that it's their game of the week as well. I was so close at picking the other team here, but it's UC Davis at Montana. Both Justin and I picked Montana for that one. Montana's a great football team. UC Davis playing really good football as well. If you haven't caught an FCS game yet, it is more pure football. Maybe not the best talent, but it's better pure football to watch. So if you get the chance, definitely tune into an FCS game, and you're not going to be disappointed with this one. Conference USA and MACtion will be decided this week. Oh, Montana versus UC Davis is on ESPN2 this weekend. Tune in. We don't normally like ESPN, but we like it for watching college football, so definitely tune in. Conference USA and MACtion will be decided this week, and that is how it should be. Um, Midweek um, decisions made on um, who wins the conference, and what better way to find out than some random Wednesday or Thursday? Um, like I said before, this was a tough week to pick games. So tell us your thoughts. You can feel free to make picks with us. Feel free to type it in the chat box. Um, you can feel free to tweet at us, DM us. We love hearing from people. What else here? That's all the college football stuff I think I had. Oh yeah, Big Sky After Dark on ESPN2, Montana versus UC Davis. Thanks, Justin. Um, Baseball. Los Angeles Dodgers beat the New York Yankees to win the World Series. So baseball is over. The two teams that just pretty much traded a bunch of people that we don't know if are going to be good or not for like top of the league talent. Um, we don't have to watch them for another like 7 months. So that's fantastic. I'm a huge baseball fan, don't get me wrong, but when it's two teams that just kind of load up on all the best players, wow, Western Michigan just scored a touchdown. They were an extra point away from tying it up with less than 2 minutes away from half. Um, NBA started back up. Um, Basketball started back up. Justin was not able to go to that game in Xenia where it cost $15 to see two whole games. Um, let's see here. To food topic of the week. Favorite frozen food? I guess mine would be frozen chicken nuggets. Can't really go wrong with that. Or Red Baron mini pizzas. Actually, I'm going to change mine. Red Baron mini pizzas. Best best frozen food out there, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, like us on every social media, X, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, at Updog Sports Talk. Um, we post a lot about college football on X, getting a little bit better on posting content on all the others. Um, so, trying to think if there's anything else. Justin, feel free to type in the chat box if you think of anything. But yeah, comment, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Ring my bell. Ring my bell. To get notifications when we post. We do not post that often, so we're not going to be blowing up your phone every 5 seconds. Um, I'm working on different technology to try to expand more than just YouTube, trying to expand to um, like Spotify, maybe, because they're kind of weird about posting content and they're making it their own. Um, but YouTube Music for podcasts, Apple Podcasts, trying to branch out a little bit. So I'm gonna work on that probably within the next couple of weeks and see what I can get going. Um, yeah, everything's going great with with uh, with the show. We appreciate all of our viewers, all the love. Sooner or later, we're going to get those media passes and stand on the sidelines of a college football game. Feel like Big Sky is our best bet because we're pretty close with them on social media. But their social media admin isn't their top dog, but I think we do have the commissioner following us too. So, um, yeah, if you want to see us on the sidelines of some random college football game, let us know which one you want us to go to and try to make it work. That is the show. It is about an hour shorter than normal because you guys don't have to hear Justin's hour-long ramble. Love you, Justin. Feel better, buddy. And we will catch you guys next week.